Have you ever felt like no one in the world really sees you? Like every word you speak vanishes into the air before it can be heard? Like you only exist through the shadows you leave behind? Ryan felt that every single day. He didn't want to summon a demon. He wasn't playing with the devil. All he wanted was to be noticed. And when someone lives invisible for long enough, even the gaze that comes from the dark can feel like salvation. This isn't one of those stories about reckless teens doing rituals for fun. This is about a boy who just wanted to be seen and ended up opening a door he could never close again. What you're about to hear isn't just a creepy tale, it's a muffled scream from someone who begged to be heard and was by something that does not belong to this world. Ryan was 17 and lived in a house where silence hurt more than shouting. His mother stayed locked in her room, disconnected from reality. His father, cold and unpredictable, exploded at anything. School was a desert of faces that never recognized his. No one said, "Good morning." No one asked, "Are you okay?" The walls in his bedroom knew him better than any human did. And it was there in that cold, silent cage that he discovered the ritual. Late at night, browsing through dark forums on the deep web, he was searching for something, anything that gave meaning to the emptiness inside. Between broken links and disturbing videos, he found a post titled "The All-Seeing Eye." A simple ritual, they claimed. All you need is salt, 3 white candles, a mirror, and courage. At the bottom of the page, a small warning. Be careful what you wish for. What sees you never forgets. Ryan laughed. What difference would it make? He prepared everything. At exactly 3:33 a.m., he drew the salt circle on the floor. The candles flickered even though there was no wind. The mirror propped against an old chair reflected a boy he barely recognized. With trembling hands, he began reciting the text in a whisper. The words were sharp, almost unnatural, like they were never meant to be spoken aloud, but he finished, and then nothing. Silence, no flickering lights, no knocking, just the sound of failure. Ryan snuffed out the middle candle with his fingers. That's when the first sign came. 3 knocks on the window, dry, evenly spaced. He froze, slowly turned his head but saw nothing outside. The house held its breath. Then the mirror fogged up, without heat, without a source, and letters began to form, slow and deliberate, like an invisible finger was writing from the other side of the glass. "I see you." He stepped back, thought it was his mind playing tricks, maybe exhaustion. He wiped the mirror with his sleeve. The words vanished, but in the reflection behind him was a shadow, still, tall, without a human shape. He turned around in panic. Nothing. Looked back at the mirror. The shadow had moved closer, only in the reflection. His breathing turned shallow, his eyes filled with tears, and a strange certainty sank into his chest. He was no longer alone in that room. The next days felt like walking blind through a dark hallway. Lights flickered every night at 3:33. The mirror fogged up on its own. The word "I" appeared in the bathroom steam, but that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was the feeling inside, a constant pressure on his chest, like something was watching his every thought, fear, and hidden desire. Ryan began to lose weight, to talk to himself, to see shadows moving through the school hallways. One day when he tried to speak to someone, his voice failed. Literally, not a single word would come out, as if something had taken control of his throat. To this day, no one believes him, except for one thing that was never explained. Ryan's bedroom mirror never cleaned again. No matter how many times they tried to remove it, break it, or burn it, it always came back, with the same message in the steam, I see you. And if you think this is just another scary story, think again. How many times have you wanted to be seen by someone or something? How many times did you wish the world would finally notice your existence? And what if one day something from the other side actually listened? Comment if this awakened something in you. If this story spoke to you, write "I'm here" in the comments. Because sometimes all an entity needs is to know you're listening too. In the following nights, Ryan stopped sleeping. Not by choice, but because every time he closed his eyes, the same figure appeared. A faceless, shadowy silhouette that stood at the foot of his bed. It didn't move, didn't speak, but its presence, unseen yet unbearably real, pierced through like a knife. It was as if the thing was inside his mind, digging up old memories, childhood fears, unspoken secrets. When he woke up, sweating, breathless, the mirror was always there, waiting, and the message had changed. I am in you. There was nowhere left to run. The house became a maze. Walls groaned with muffled whispers. One night, while trying to leave through the front door, Ryan saw his reflection nod at him. On its own, a small deliberate motion, a warning. He backed away and locked himself in the bathroom, cried, screamed, begged. But every time he whispered, "Leave me alone," new scratches appeared on the mirror, deep, bleeding through the glass. The more he wiped, the deeper they got. The house began to smell of sulfur. The clock stopped every night at exactly 3:33. Then came the night that changed everything. The night he tried to get rid of the mirror once and for all. He waited until his parents were asleep, carried it out, wrapped in a blanket, took it to the backyard, dug a deep hole in the wet dirt, buried it, cried as he shoveled the last bits of earth. The feeling of relief was instant but fake. Because when he returned to his room, the mirror was back, hanging on the wall, clean, untouched, with a new message. Now I am you. From that point on, Ryan changed. Stopped speaking to the few classmates who still acknowledged him. His eyes grew darker, his voice quieter. His fingernails began to grow, strangely, and he laughed, alone. In the school hallway, staring at people like he knew things they didn't. Teachers called his parents, doctors ran tests, nothing explained it. Except for the last psychologist who saw him. She said something that still chills those who heard it. I looked into that boy's eyes, and I swear for a second I saw someone else looking back. They say Ryan vanished months later. His parents claimed he ran away. The school erased his file. But from time to time, a new student swears they saw him, standing silently in the hallway, staring at the mirror in the third-floor bathroom. And the strange thing? That mirror never fogs up. Except when someone gets too close, and when they do, one word appears, always the same, you. The truth is, rituals aren't about demons rising in fire and smoke. They're about permission, about opening a part of yourself that should have stayed locked away. And once something enters, it never leaves. Ryan didn't want evil. He just wanted to be seen. And now, all he does is see, observe, wait. And you? Have you ever wanted to be seen so badly that you'd accept any gaze? Ever begged for attention in silence, praying for something, anything to answer? If so, be careful what you wish for. The universe listens, and sometimes what answers isn't God. Comment below if this hit you. If you've ever felt like something was watching you through the mirror, Write, I'm here in the comments because maybe, just maybe, he's reading this with you. After Ryan disappeared, the story only got darker. A teacher who taught night classes at the same school swore she heard dry knocks coming from the old mirror room in the abandoned theater wing. A room that had been locked for years. She didn't tell anyone, thought she was just tired. But weeks later, another employee had the same experience. Curious, she went inside. In the dusty floor, she found a salt circle half erased, 3 melted candles, a broken mirror in the center, a mirror she swore had never been there before. She approached the glass, looked at her reflection, and behind her, something moved. She turned. No one. Looked again. Someone was smiling in the cracked mirror. And that's when the copies began. Lonely teens desperate for connection, testing the edge between faith and despair. A boy from another state tried the ritual after hearing the story. He recorded everything. The video was never posted, but his parents said they found the camera still on, pointed at his bed, filming hours of stillness. Until exactly 3:33. The screen went black, and a voice whispered, "Another one saw me." The boy hasn't spoken since, and his mirror never fogged again. This story isn't just about Ryan. It's not just about rituals. It's about a void that grows in silence, about how far we're willing to go for just a sliver of attention, and about the danger of making a request to geek you can't take back. And maybe the scariest thing of all is that if you're still watching this, if you felt a chill down your spine, maybe you already opened that door. So if you're sitting in the dark, if you looked into the mirror today and felt something staring back, take a deep breath and remember, not every reflection is just an image. Sometimes it's a response. If this story spoke to you, if somewhere deep inside it echoed, even in silence, leave a comment below. I'm here. Because maybe you're not as alone as you think. And if you want more stories like this, more hidden truths, more dark tales that no one dares to tell, then subscribe to the channel right now. Here we dig up what the world tries to bury, turn on the bell so you don't miss a thing. Because every week we go deeper into the dark, and remember, when you watch, he watches too. Subscribe now. Real stories, real shadows, real fear.